Hello and welcome. This is another MCA exclusive for you and yours. I was wondering what I was going to do this video on, and it occurred to me a lot of you don't even know me. So this is going to be an about me video. All right, my name is Rickey Troupe. Rickey Wendell Troupe, that's where the W come from, Wendell. Born Macon, GA, 1953. By way of New York, I moved to New York September 12th, 1969. Because that's where my mom was, and I had to be there also, So, followed her to New York, in and out of different high schools, but I went to Port Chester in 69, and I did a year and some months there. Ended up going back to Georgia, so I graduated in Macon, Georgia at Southwest Complex, Macon, Georgia, in 1971. And from there, I got a job on the Air Force Base in Warner Robins, and I worked there a few months. My daddy was an aircraft mechanic, so, he looked out for me. He put me on this job, BB Saxon, out there on the Air Force Base, and I worked there for a few months. And again, got lovesick, homesick for my mom, and New York, here I come. Got back to New York, and I got a job. Working at several places. I worked several jobs in Port Chester. I worked at Lifesavers. That's right, 5 flavors. Five. I used to put the Lifesavers in the hopper, and also in the sugar room. I did the sugar room for some months also. And from there, I went to Arnold Bakeries. Arnold Bakeries, the bakery that is well known, Arnold's. I worked there as a pan man. That's putting pans on the machine. That's what I started doing there. And I graduated from there, and I became an oven man. And one of the best oven mans you ever had there. And I worked there for a few years, and ended up losing that job for something. I don't even remember how I lost that job, but I lost that job. And ended up in Port Chester, just roaming around, roaming the streets, doing whatever come natural to someone that don't have a job, hustling. And I did that up until April 92. I entered into a drug rehabilitation center, a Christian-based drug rehabilitation center, and that was in Bridgeport, Connecticut. From there, they transferred me to Bridgeport. You go back to Stanford, and from there, you transferred to a different location in the end. I was scheduled to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, but I got into a fight with one of the guys there, and he was bullying me. He was bullying everybody, but I put a stop to that. I was the last one he bullied. Anyway, we became even better friends after that, but he quit the program, and he left. And that opened up another position. Instead of going to Hershey, Pennsylvania, I ended up going to Boston, Massachusetts, where I am now. There's a place in Brockton called Teen Challenge. I entered Teen Challenge in my 6th month of the program, and I stayed there a little over 6, maybe 8 months before I graduated. And I graduated in 93. So those graduates in 93, our motto was, "He that is free in 93 is free indeed." Believe me, I was totally free of drugs and alcohol. And you know what? When they transferred me to Massachusetts, my I had kin people here. My mother was here and my sister. So I had a place to stay, and I moved in with my sister for a few months. Found me a job as, what did that first job? Oh, installing installation into houses. And I did that for a few months. I put a few of my friends down on it, and that turned out to be a bummer because he didn't give me the raises that he was supposed to give me on time. So I ended up walking away from that job. I found another job as a maintenance worker for a property management company. And I did that for some months. I did that for a few months. Very good with maintenance. My granddaddy was a carpenter. My daddy is a auto mechanic for airplanes. So I am very good with my hands. So I did that, and then I became a maintenance supervisor. When the job split up, they called me. I left and went to another place, but they called me back to be a supervisor. I took that position and I worked it for quite a while. I ended up hurting myself on the job, and that's the reason I left that position in 1999, December. I hurt my back, and I had to have surgery, so I left that position. After that, after I healed and everything and got better, I ended up going to, I went to school. I learned the trade. I learned how to be a bunch of things, HVAC and small appliance mechanic. So I mastered that, left there, and I got a job at ITT Industries in Newton, Massachusetts. And while I was there, they changed their name from ITT Industries to C&K Switch. And I stayed there till we had a discrepancy. And I forgot to tell you something. While I was working as a maintenance person, we used to shovel snow for the properties, and I used to dream about owning my own property. And sure enough, in time, after I got to IT&T C&K Switch, I started to buy property. And I ended up with 3 or 4 properties that I still have. One of them today, I lost 3 of them back to foreclosures and short sales. But that last one, if I had bought everything right here in Boston, I'd have been set for life. I would have continued to buy more and more, but that set me back. Messed up my credit and everything. But I left C&K after a while, and I started to take care of my own property. I painted the entire house, 3rd floor, three family in Dorchester. I have a nice 3-family out there. The 3-family I had in Pawtucket, Rhode Island was even nicer, but it was quite a ways away from where I live, so I ended up having to let that go because I couldn't keep it full. I couldn't keep tenants in it without them trying to rip me off. Man, you can't be good in this world because people will take advantage of you. Okay, so brings me up to now. I am still into real estate. I own the 3-family in Dorchester, and I rent it out today. It's keeping me going. That's where my income is coming from. And I saw MCA. I tried it maybe 2 years ago, and I didn't get it, so I let it go. But then after I looked at it again, I seen the benefits of it, and it made me realize that MCA was the way to go. So that brings me up to now, and I'm going to stop this video. I don't want it to be too long. My next video, I'll be back to see you. Have a blessed day. God bless.